This your main man, Dr. Life, in the business of saving lives. We first responders. We respond to unnatural, man-made, artificial intelligence disasters. That's right. The challenges that you face are simply to eliminate the competition. To eliminate the competition. Wealth, prosperity, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. All right, let's get down to it. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's a race. We were created to prove through actions and deeds that we remain the children of our fathers. Every seed brings forth fruit after its own kind. No good seed brings forth bad fruit. No bad seed can bring forth good fruit. Every seed brings forth fruit after its own kind. What is a seed? A child. What does a father sow? Seed. So, if the Creator is your father, and every good and perfect gift comes down from above, every good and perfect gift comes down from above, from the Father of lights. So if you have a father that gives good and perfect gifts, and his children are supposed to pursue happiness that produces good and perfect gifts, not pursues happiness that the thief comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So, all men are created equal? Just prove it. No, all men are not created equal. And it's time for you to go for the gold. It's time for you to compete. It's all been a game. It's time for you to go for the gold. All men are not created equal. Because some men reject the Creator. All men are not created equal. So, the Havilah Gold Rush, the ITB, in the beginning, creation, money, is the good gold of Havilah, the very first documented money and currency. It's the good gold of Havilah found in the ground of our forefathers. And out of that same exact ground grew a tree of life. That's right, Dr. Life. And we looking for some gold miners to mine the Havilah good gold in this last ITB Havilah Gold Rush, and then print the money that grows on the tree of life, meant for the healing of the nations. Every seed brings forth fruit, the tree of life. Give us this day our daily bread, money that grows on the tree of life. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. And the only reason you don't have it, because you're chasing fool's gold. You're chasing fool's gold. You're following after fools. The fool's gold rush. Let me show you what it looked like. All men are not created equal. All gold is not equal.
Charmin Ultra Soft is softer than ever.
You don't know how pleased and proud.
So I reckon that's probably about 25 ounces, which takes us past the Hoffmans. I think he should have learned by now. So that's 353 ounces.
353 ounces, worth $388,000.
So that takes us to 3,362.
This season, Parker mined a staggering $3,698,000, the biggest take of his gold mining career.
Parker, you don't know how pleased and proud I am of you. Just 4 years ago, you started to mine, you got 100 and some ounces, and you were quite pleased, but you wanted to do better. And with the help of a wonderful crew, you now look at 3,000 ounces. What a fantastic change in your life. And I am really proud because what more did I ask for? Nothing.
All men are not created equal. All opportunities for these men to have access to the gold in this fool's gold rush. Now we take and we give access to the least of these our brothers. If y'all want to know how you could be a part of this last ITB in the beginning Havila gold rush. It's another gold rush going on right now simultaneously. 407-308-0997. You could call it at 10 a.m. You could call it at 12 p.m. You could call it at 2 p.m. You could call it at 4 p.m. Call it at 6 p.m., at 7:30 p.m., and at 9 p.m. and find out how you can join the Yes USA Dream Team. That's right, we're here to compete. We're here to compete. Because first I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the injustice in the system. I'll show you how they conveniently removed all of the competition. And then I'll show you how we give the same exact opportunities to our people to be able to compete for the real money and not have to rely on this fake money. All men are not created equal. They use artificial intelligence to genetically, financially modify the European. Just like they do genetically modified organisms. You eating genetically modified food. Wonder Bread. It's your Wonder Bread. Fake bread. Enriched bread. Meaning it's stripped of all value. Fake, fiat. Funny money. Worthless. When the King of Kings said, give us this day our daily bread. Baymax. Be about your mankind at all costs. Be about your mankind at all costs. Be about your money at all costs. That's why they killed individuals. They tried to take the artificial advantage away from the European. The artificial, genetically modified advantage of European capitalism. Of the livestock, and bondage trade on the New York Stock Exchange. Trading human beings as livestock. All men are created equal. No such thing. The men that devolved, the men that chose to change the trajectory of their image and devolve, understood that the covenant, the Creator's covenant with his children, was superior to the vagabond lifestyle of restless wandering that their ancestors experienced. And the only way to compete is to genetically modify and artificially manufacture fake, false, fraudulent advantages for their seed, and then create obstacles, traps, setbacks, downfalls, hurdles. Because it's a game. It's a pursuit of happiness. It's a race. The race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to he that endures. It's a race. The pursuit of happiness. All men are created equal. No such thing. And given the inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's true. That's true. But when you know you can't compete in the pursuit, then you have to create an unfair advantage in the game. You have to create a monopoly. And when you know that you don't have the ability to produce or procreate, the earth will not bring forth fruit in its strength. Then you got to create a fake, phony money system. This is no different than this. It's the same thing. Neither one of them have any value. You put the value in all of it. When you chase after this illusion, this artificial intelligence, genetically Financial, genetically modified
Apple, the newest star of the tech world, won't reach that age for another 6 years. But Michelle Miller shows us how he is already seeing his dreams pay off.
Do people ever call you Smarty Pants?
No.
No, maybe they should. Eric Finman is the founder of Botangle, an online education program that links students with instructors around the world. A pretty remarkable accomplishment considering he's only 15 years old.
So you can see all the best teachers. Oh, there I am.
That's even younger than his mentor, Alexis Ohanian, was when he started the online community Reddit, the ripe old age of 22.
I'm shocked by Eric's success at this age compared to where I was.
Ohanian inspired a generation of smart, tech-savvy teens.
All right, so you got a 15-year-old that has a multi-millionaire mentor who made his first millions at 22, starting an online artificial intelligence code. It's a program. All the Matrix is about is a program. The financial matrix is no different. It's a program. The red pill or the blue pill. Whether you know or you're ignorant to the code behind the genetically modified artificial advantage that they give, and then the purposeful attack and war that they wage to eliminate all competition. That's what a monopoly is. A monopoly is when you eliminate all competition so that you can control all of the capital, all of the land, labor, capital, and the bread and circus entertainment. This is the fake bread. And the circus entertainment is to mesmerize, is to hypnotize, is to program the masses that you have artificial happiness. You are entertained, detached from reality. Virtual reality. This computer age is all about science fiction, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, drugged out of your mind, so that you are never in the reality, the all natural reality, and do that which comes natural. You have a natural, innate trigger, fight or flight. What is flight? The pursuit of happiness. Flight, run the race. You automatically were created to go get a seat at the King of Kings table and eat. Flight. It ain't run from nothing. Flight. It's take the lead. Be the head, not the tail. And everything that they society is engineered to disable those innate mechanisms to flight, to run faster and outrun them to prosperity, to wealth, to happiness. All while they genetically modify the environment for fame and fortune for their seed.
With his book without their permission. How the 21st century will be made, not managed. Eric read it, then took a $1,000 check his grandmother had given him at Easter and invested it in the online currency Bitcoin.
Oh, his grandmother just gave him $1,000 at Easter. And Parker Schnabel's grandfather just allowed him to start mining gold 4 years ago. Now he's making $4 million a year. But who were the ancestors on the land before they told you there was Native Americans in America? Before the Spanish explorer, 100 years before Christopher Columbus landed in Florida. 100 years before they could claim that there was Native Americans. What's his name? Let's see what this explorer's name is. A 100 years before Christopher Columbus, 100 years before the Puritans and the Pilgrims, 100 years before they tell you the Thanksgiving narrative, 100 years before they can claim that they came here and met with Indian chiefs. Why? Because they had to manufacture the natives that they would trade with, because the indigenous people that were here weren't conducive to trading with them. The indigenous people that were here wasn't having it. And how do you get a mulatto? How do you get a mulatto human being? A human being that's called a mulatto. It's a mixture between fair skin and Nubians. And all over the world, you have different types of mulattoes that are called different types of things. Whenever fair skinned people interbreed with the darkest people on earth, the offspring is a mulatto, a swirled mulatto. And depending on the climate and depending on the area, whether it's close to the equator, whether it's far away from the equator, whether it's in Alaska or whether it's in North America, will determine the swirl of the mulatto or the aboriginal or the Indian. So 100 years before they start telling you the lie, they came here peacefully in secret, simply to breed. Simply to breed a subculture that would be conducive. Why would it be conducive to trading with them after 100 years of breeding a new offspring? Why? Because half of the offspring would be partially theirs. And then when they partner up with the half of the offspring that's partly theirs, then they have offspring that know the land and can guide them, who they can partner up with and recruit to wage war, to try and take the land. They just pick a date and they give you 1660, when colonialism started. For real? For real? The Pope signed the document in the 1490s. Colonialism started in the 1490s when Pope Alexander VI signed the document splitting the world in half and giving half to Spain and half to Portugal to colonize it on behalf of the Roman Catholic Church slave trade. 1490s. But because it was no way that those Nubians was giving up their ancestral land, they had to come in and create a subculture, a offspring that they called Native Americans. Same thing happened in South America. Same thing happened all over the world. Same thing happened all over the world. When they came there, so-called exploring, they came there sowing seed, breeding. And the hallmark of slavery was to stud the males once they wanted to keep up the stock of slaves. Instead of continuously having to purchase brand new slaves. So their ideology and methodology was already. And the Europeans had always been on this. Because before England even came over there, they had a thing called prima nocte. If you remember Braveheart, Longshanks said, if we can't get the Scots out, if we can't fight Scotland and get William Wallace out, we'll breed him out. And he gave an edict of prima nocte, and he gave his knights, his nobles, the permission to rape every bride on a wedding night. So that when his knights from England slept with the people from Scotland, they would impregnate them, and they would, in Scotland, they would have a lineage of children that were half English and half Scottish. Because the father would be the English knight, and the mother would be the Scottish bride who got raped. And then what would happen? Generations after generations later, when his grandchildren are on the throne in England, there would be people in Scotland who would be divided. Why? Because they have options. I got English blood and I got Scottish blood. We're going to breed them out. I'm going to be faithful to England. They did the same thing in the Americas. And then they told y'all, the Native Americans, listen, man, artificial, genetically modified. And now we're going to prove it. We're going to give our people access to a gold rush. Not they fool's gold. Not they fake money. We're going to give y'all the ability to take the lead again. Once again, 407-308-0997. I'm just telling you the challenge first, then I'm gonna give y'all the solution and what we're gonna do with the gold rush later. Peace.